I was meaning to go and look in on this, but, I got caught up with life. And then, of course, other video subjects caught my attention. But now I'm getting around to this. There we see Keke Palmer, and of course on the right is the legendary Felicia Rashad playing her most famous role as Clair Huxtable on the famous, or to some people, infamous Cosby Show, and I don't need to go into why. But basically, some interview a few weeks ago, she, and I'm paraphrasing, Keke Palmer called the Clair Huxtable character, not Felicia Rashad herself, but the Clair Huxtable character, she was uppity, which she's entitled to that opinion. Now, later, she did clarify what she meant by uppity. She said, when you really look at it, she kind of was. But she was also a counter to, say, the mama on Good Times at the time. Whereas the mama on Good Times was more left, Clair Huxtable was decidedly more leaning right. And when you think about it, in a way, the Cosby Show in general was leaning right, whereas Good Times was more familiar, because I know a lot of black people, even before all this controversy, I knew a lot of black people that really did not like the Cosby Show because for them it was unrelatable, because they weren't used to seeing a black family basically not worrying about money, but worrying more about just life in general. And that's why it was, quote unquote, with some of the audience, especially the old school audience, it was unrelatable, unlike Good Times. Me personally, even though there was some things about the Cosby Show, and I'm going to get to one of them in a second, that I look sideways now when I look at it as an adult. And no, it does not have anything to do with the show star Bill Cosby. I'll be honest, shows like Good Times and The Jeffersons did not appeal to me growing up. I mean, it was the same thing as Martin. When it came to black shows, I leaned more towards The Cosby Show. I leaned more towards A Different World. I leaned more towards ones like Living Single. And when it came to the more serious shows and movies that were more serious, I leaned more towards stuff like New Jack City or Boys in the Hood or New York Undercover, because those shows actually had a point. Or even when they were both hot, the show Power versus Empire. I leaned more towards Power because Power at least had a point. And Power actually had good writing. Whereas Empire, I felt, was too much woke stuff and too much shock value. But I can get into a whole argument about that. Now, on the Clair Huxtable character herself, there was always something a little bit nose in the air with her. Like, she's somebody that pretty much could have got any man she wanted. But she chose Cliff Huxtable. And that was always a running joke on there. It was like mirroring Bill Cosby's real life marriage with Claire Hanks, which incidentally was the name of the character on the show. Her maiden name was Claire Hanks. Oh, or in the case of the real life wife, was Camille Hanks. But yeah, because a lot of people felt that Camille was too good for Bill Cosby, that she was like well above him, but she got with him anyway. And quite frankly, with the way the men on the show at times flirted with this woman, the character, and the way she responded. Now, she did ultimately cut him off and said, I have a husband and my kids, but there were times that I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if at least a couple of them, she getting some business from some of them other than the husband Cliff. Because I'm sorry, that one dude that he used to do the pinochle, that Dr. Cliff Huxtable used to do the pinochle thing with. Sorry, but I am not going to go over to another man's house, even if it's somebody I know and I'm really, really good friends with. I'm not going to go over to their house and be kissing on their wife. I don't care how cool I am with them. The only time I've ever seen that stuff is when they do swinger swap stuff, which I've said, experimenting around when I was young. But even then, when I would come over their crib, I would behave until they gave permission or a signal to, like, okay, let's go to the back and do our business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was some eyebrow. When you look back at it now, and not just because of Cosby, there were a lot of mirrors with his own kids and his relationship with his own wife that was there. And there's a lot of things that make me look people's eyebrow at Clair. So, was Keke Palmer really out of line with what she said? Well, I'll let you decide. But that's my take on it. Anyway, I'm out. If you like what I do, subscribe. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I'm out.